Now I want to show you how you can make the full screen monitor look exactly like you want it, with images, border and drop shadow. The first thing I want to do is to make sure that the countdown is shown on the external monitor. And first I check that we have assigned the correct monitor. This is the on lap, that looks good. And now when I push the full screen button, this should appear on your external monitor. You don't have to drag and drop any windows with the mouse or anything like that. Just on and off, simply like this. And then, in order to see what I'm doing, I have the preview window here, which is a copy of the full screen. And I go to the preferences to customize further. The local monitor is the settings for the full screen, preview and the NDI. Now I can turn on and off elements how I want. I want everything on now, just to demonstrate. We have some options for moving these things around. You can change the size and the font, like this. You can basically do what you want. With the image, we have a couple of options. You can stretch it, because this image is not in the correct format. And we have the opacity. I put the opacity at 50 because this image is actually a little bit too bright. But when it's so bright, you can see why we can use a little bit of drop shadow, because then you can actually manage to see something. Without the drop shadow, it's really not that easy. But when you are using background images, it's best to use an image that doesn't have the same brightness as the numbers and text you want to display. And now the drop shadow is more like, you can still use it, but it's more like a subtle effect. And the second thing about using opacity on the image is that you can see a little bit of the background color. And let me demonstrate this now. So I start the countdown, the background is black. But then with the warning, it turns orange, and then it turns red. So that you can really notify the speaker, even though you use the background image. But sometimes you may want to use another image that looks good without any opacity. And then we have the problem, because now the background is no longer seen. So how are you going to notify the speaker with these color changes? And that's one reason we made the border. In the default template, it's not shown right away, but let's wait until we kick in the warning. Now we have the orange here on the side and the red with the blink. So the border is on the top of the background image, and it's an alternative way of notifying the speaker when the time is running out. Or if you want to, you can make the border visible all the time. You can use this default button. And this can be nice if you have a picture-in-picture and you want to see exactly where the window ends. I think this is what you need to know about this new version of CueTimer. You can basically go to the preferences menu and make the countdown look exactly like you want it on the screen. Take care and see you again soon.